Hi, I'm Kat, and today I have for you a true crime case, a word in Romanian, and of course I'll also be doing my makeup at the same time. And today is pajamas day because I'm just not in any mood for any kind of dressing up. So yeah, that's it. It's fine. It's just another casual day, okay? Right, the word for today is accident. 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 Well done, guys, you just said accident. This case was suggested to me by Patricia Burns, one of my long-time YouTube viewers, and guys, I really need to say that this is a really effed up case. I'm not really using swear words, so I'm not feeling comfortable saying the full word, but yeah, you got it. Effed up case. And just a tiny disclaimer here, I took a lot of information from Freedom for Angie website. Off to a great start here. It's Freedom for Gracie website. Sorry guys. As I found that to be the most detailed account of the dynamics of the family and the people involved, the timeline, and pretty much everything. Of course that I also looked into other sources as well, like the usual. Also, I need to say that everything is alleged, and this will be a two-part series, so there will be two videos around this case. On June 13th, 2020, Grant celebrated his 18th birthday. 5 weeks later, he died in a roadside ditch in Tennessee. On July 20th, 2020, Grant Solomon died in an unexplained incident in Gallatin. His father, Aaron Solomon, was the only witness. Aaron said that he saw Grant get out of the truck, but he then looked away. The next thing he saw was that the truck was rolling into the ditch. Which, I mean, when I first read this, I found quite odd, but we'll get onto that later. Anyway, no evidence at the scene or any of Grant's injuries matched what Aaron later told police. But the case apparently just got closed. So, I think that, we need to start from the beginning with this. Grant Rhodes Heffins Solomon was born on 13th of June 2002. Grant was a rising senior at Grace Christian Academy, where he was a student since 3rd grade. He was a star baseball player, he attended church, and he was also a talented musician. Grant was fun and bright. His smile would just lit up every room he went into. He was known for being a really competitive athlete, an engaged student, and a true friend to everyone he met. He had a really strong sense of family, and he took extra care of his little sister Gracie and his mom Angelia. He had a strong intuition, a photographic memory, and he always knew when to help a friend in need. It's also been reported though that Grant had a volatile relationship with his father Aaron. So Aaron and Angelia, or Angie, Grant's mom, they got married in 2001 whilst Angie was pregnant with Grant. Despite growing up in an abusive household, Angie made the most of her talents when she was young. She was a basketball star known for her gorgeous singing voice. She obtained her bachelor's degree and a doctorate in pharmacy. She even purchased her own home, and she had a promising career ahead of her. She then reconnected with a boy that she knew in high school, Aaron Solomon. After a strange 6-week relationship, Angie got pregnant with Grant and felt that she had no choice but to marry Aaron. As early as 2001, Aaron was abusive to his wife, berating her all the time and sexually violating her. However, they still stayed together, and in 2006, Gracie, Grant's sister, is born. In 2008, Angie discovers that Aaron is cheating on her, and she also finds out that he is grooming underage girls and hiring prostitutes. Angie, at this point, she's in a lot of pain and she's very stressed about her marriage, so she looks for help, and that's how she sees Dr. Fortrell for therapy. But the thing is, Aaron doesn't allow Angie to speak with anyone else. He needs to be there. According to Angie, even when she would go to the hairdresser, sometimes he would be there on a chair just listening to her conversations. So eventually he attends her therapy sessions, and during these sessions Dr. Fortrell actually diagnoses Angie with PTSD, and she diagnoses Aaron with sex addiction. For 15 years, Aaron Solomon was a sports reporter and morning anchor at WSMV TV, which I think is from Channel 4 or 5. He was reading the day's headlines alongside weather and traffic news before his departure in 2011. After a short time in sports radio, he left broadcasting altogether. He has been a financial planner since 2014. While Aaron maintained that he left WSMV TV voluntarily, according to Angie and also other sources, he was actually forced to resign because of inappropriate material found on his work computer and phone. In June 2012, Aaron's aunt passed away, and she actually left him a multi-million-dollar trust. With this money, Aaron's behavior seemed to get more erratic and unpredictable. In September 2012, Angie sees another professional, Dr. Michael Reed, a psychiatrist. She needs help to cope with her abusive husband and also to figure out a way to keep her children safe and get herself and the children out of the situation safely. In 2013, Nashville PD are called to a domestic disturbance to the Solomon house. According to the responding EMT or firefighters, they knew Aaron from the neighborhood, as he would casually, just have conversations with them, and he would usually be polite. When they got there to the house, they knew that the police was already inside and they never went in. However, Aaron, he came out of the house, went to them, and he told them that Angie was mentally ill and she is the one who caused all this situation. Again, Aaron was being very polite about this. However, when Angie and the children got out of the house, Aaron's demeanor changed entirely. His face turned red, and when he tried to get close to Angie, authorities actually stopped him. They went in between them, and according to the EMT, he looked really angry, agitated, and just filled with rage. So the EMT guy and his colleagues were all telling each other that they knew who was the instigator, referring to Aaron. In January 2013, Gracie, who was 5 years old at the time, disclosed to her mother that Aaron, her dad, puts things inside her during bath time and it hurts. Angie confronted Aaron about this, and he actually confessed, but at the same time he told her that if she ever said anything to anyone, he's going to take the children away from her. Angie ended up emailing Dr. Reed, remember the psychiatrist, saying that Gracie begged not to be bathed and perhaps Angie was missing the signs of abuse. So in March 2013, together with Dr. Reed, they come up with a plan on how to get her and the children out of there and to get a divorce. She takes notes on her phone about this plan and also about the therapy sessions. But one day, as she was rushing to pick up the kids from school, she actually forgot her phone at home, and after she returned home, Aaron had already seen everything on the phone and he dropped her phone in the toilet. On 9th of May 2013, Aaron tried to strangle Angie with a hairdryer cord. Grant, their son, witnessed this attack. Both of them, both Grant and Angie, of course at this point, they are really scared, but they don't say anything to anyone. Angie, in fact, wanted to protect Grant from his father and for having to testify in court. I'm not sure at this point if, they went to the hospital or if an ambulance was called. But Aaron tells the hospital and Angie's parents that she tried to kill herself. The next day, Angie takes the kids to school and she even chaperones a school trip. But Angie doesn't know that Aaron and her parents are waiting for her at home. They force her to go to Parthenon Centennial, telling hospital staff that she tried to kill herself. After speaking with Dr. Murphy at the hospital, Angie explained that she wasn't trying to kill herself. Aaron was in fact abusing her, and he tried to kill her the previous day. So they keep her in the hospital overnight to protect her from Aaron and also from her own parents. She managed to get a restraining order against Aaron, which was granted. The Centennial Center report stated that she was not suffering from suicidal ideation. She was more likely in an abusive relationship, and she didn't appear to have any kind of signs of depression. The center even spoke with her psychiatrist to explain the whole situation. They also said that there was no evidence that she tried to hang herself or that she ever mentioned killing herself. In the discharge summary, it was mentioned that Angie was telling the truth about her situation. She was in a risky relationship with her husband, and her parents also appeared unreliable sources of information. The following day, when she returned home from the hospital, Aaron and the kids were gone. There was no one in the house. She tried calling Aaron, she tried calling her parents and even her in-laws, but she couldn't get a hold of anyone. She had no idea where her kids were. On Mother's Day, Angie really hoped that Aaron would bring the kids to see her, but instead Aaron called the police again, telling them that Angie is suicidal. But when they show up, it's clear that she's not, so they leave without taking any action. But the kids were still gone. That's when Angie realized that Aaron is keeping his promise. She talks, she doesn't get to see the kids anymore. On 14th of May 2013, it's been 3 days since Angie hasn't heard from Aaron, the kids, her parents or her in-laws, and of course that she's very worried, so she calls the police. They seem to take her complaints quite seriously, but then a higher up person gets Aaron on the phone. Angie ended up revoking the restraining order after she was persuaded by her father and Aaron by saying that she will see the kids if she revokes the order. So, Angie caved. In the middle of May, Gracie graduated from kindergarten, and Angie really wanted to attend the ceremony, but she wasn't allowed. So on 15th of May, she contacted her friend, a lawyer, and they found out that Aaron actually filed for divorce, and he also filed an order of protection against Angie on behalf of himself and the children. On 26th of May, Aaron returned home with the kids, telling Angie that if she behaves according to his expectations, he and the children will stay. You see now how he's playing with her? It's just unbelievable. The following day, Aaron then gets the kids in the car at 5 a.m. telling them that they are going to get some apple fritters for their mom. They drove to Donut Den, got some donuts, but Grant realized that Aaron wasn't actually driving back home. At that point, Grant tried jumping out of the car. In a later video statement, Gracie would say that Aaron grabbed Grant's wrist so hard that he thought he broke it. Finally, on 25th of June, they have the divorce hearing. They appear before Judge Philip E. Smith. Aaron gets Angie's father to testify against her, his own daughter. 4 months after the hearing, the judge decided that he's not going to believe Angie or the medical experts who testified in her favor. Angie even went through a forensic mental health examination ordered by the judge, who even chose the doctor to do it. This doctor agreed with her own psychiatrist, Dr. Reed, and also with Dr. Fortrell that Angie was a caring, loving and capable mother, but the judge completely dismissed the report. It was later discovered that Aaron's lawyer made a $1,000 donation to the judge's campaign, but the judge, interestingly, never held any campaign events. By 16th of October 2013, Angie hasn't seen her children since June. She didn't know what to do anymore, so she decided to write an email to her counselor, saying everything that Aaron did. In February 2014, Aaron finally allowed her to see her children, but she can only see them at sports events. On 18th of November 2014, Gracie again tells her mother that Aaron was still sexually abusing her. At the basketball game, Gracie was allowed to sit next to her mom when she told her mom that Aaron put soap inside of her and it stings. Again, Angie was horrified, but she knew that she can't confront Aaron, so she recorded some snippets of the conversation. In December, Aaron doesn't allow the kids to see their mom. This is the second Christmas that they will be away from their mom. In March 2015, during a trip, Gracie managed to video call her mom without Aaron noticing. She showed her mom bruises on her inner thighs, but didn't remember how she got them. Of course, that Angie asked Aaron, who said that it was a rash from the swimsuit. Over the Easter weekend, Aaron got Angie arrested, he said, because she failed to pay child support. Even though he already had money from his aunt's trust, he would get around $100,000 a month. So this was probably just to keep her silent about Gracie, about what Gracie had told her. Over the next 2 years, between 2015 to 2018, Angie and the children did everything that they could just to keep Aaron happy and keep each other safe. Aaron had complete control over Angie and the children. In August 2018, Grant and Gracie ran from their father for the very first time, but Aaron actually sent 2 deputies to pick them up. In September, they ran away again, refusing to return. Angie can't bear to send the children back, even with the judge's orders. They had a hearing in court with another judge, and even though Gracie said in a video statement what Aaron was doing to her, the judge didn't even have a look at it, and he just gave the kids back to Aaron. Angie told a lot of people about what was happening, including staff at school, who even got her in contact with a police officer that she met with. Magistrate Jacques Cabell, the same one from the last hearing, remember, he has another hearing with the family. Grant's friends, Anna Smith and Win Hicks, want to testify for Grant, but the judge just refuses. Although this time he does watch, the forensic interview that he refused to watch in the previous hearing, the one with Gracie. But he doesn't even watch the whole thing. He just stops it, saying that he's seen enough. So he made the decision to allow Gracie to live with her mom, but he said that, which is unbelievable, but he said that Grant is old enough to take care of himself, and so he can live with Aaron. Grant, also told his mom that it's okay, he's just gonna go with Aaron and live with him without any issues, and he told her to just make sure that she takes good care of Gracie. Grant really did this to protect his little sister. Angie, she even told Grace Chapel, the church that they were going to, what was happening. At this point, Grace Chapel tells Gracie to stop talking about the abuse. But when Grant hears this, he just has enough of it, and he says that he won't go to school anymore until he has a meeting with the elementary principal, Rona Branson. Some others join the meeting, and they barely even allow Grant to speak, and they even blame Gracie for being assaulted, claiming that they were only trying to protect her from her bad reputation. I mean, what does that even mean? So she's getting assaulted by her father, Aaron, but then she's getting the bad reputation? It doesn't make any sense. In February 2019, Angie filed a petition for dependent neglect, and the case went before Judge Deanna Johnson. The judge had already spoken with Bill Woodward about this. Bill is the director of the campus safety for Grace Chapel Academy. Now, just so we don't get confused, Grace Chapel is a Christian church, right? But they also have a school and the academy where the kids are attending. Deanna Johnson's husband is State Senator Jack Johnson. Bill was the one who actually advised Angie to file for neglect, saying that the judge will be able to do something, but only if she has a file on her desk. When Judge Johnson went to the campus to talk with Bill, she took her husband with her alongside Grace Chapel Governor Bill Lee. Judge Johnson should have recused herself from the case because of obvious conflict of interest. But instead, what she did was she dismissed the case, even labeling Angie an abusive litigant, barring her from filing any motions against Aaron for 4 years until Gracie is 18 years old. And it kind of sounds to me like they made Angie walk into a trap, if I'm honest with you. This is, the way, this is my view on it. Pastor Steve Berger made his support for Aaron clear within the church, and he was very vocal about this. So you have a group of people who, they are following the same religion, they are going to the same church, they are at the same school and whatnot. And you have the pastor of the church who is clearly in public defending and supporting Aaron. So of course that you will have people not believing Angie, right? So anyway, remember when I said that Angie had spoken with a police officer about Grant? Well, this officer was Jeff Long, who was a sheriff at the time at Williamson County Sheriff's Office. They not only spoke in person, but they spoke via text messages as well. Patty, who was also a member of Grace Chapel, introduced the sheriff to Angie. So Jeff Long assigns Lieutenant Tamika Sanders to the case. After Tamika realized there is much more going on to this case than Grant just being inappropriate with students, well, that's enough as well. So she opens an investigation when she realizes that Grant was also sexually abusing his daughter Gracie. That's when she scheduled a forensic interview with Gracie. The interview which the judge refused to watch the first time, then the second time he stopped watching. Remember when the judge said that Gracie can go live with her mom, and Grant, because he's big, he can look after himself, so he can go and live with his dad. But check this out, okay? 6 months later, Jeff Long was appointed the commissioner for the Department of Safety and Homeland Security by none other than Grace Chapel Governor Bill Lee. So it kind of seems like something else is going on here, right? On 20th of July 2020, Grant tragically dies just 15 minutes before baseball practice, and Aaron is the only witness. Grant had been 18 years old for only 1 month and would have been a high school senior that fall. According to his father Aaron, Grant parked his truck at the World Performance Institute in Gallatin, Tennessee, and went to get his baseball gear from the bed of his truck when the truck rolled backward, dragged him across the pavement, down the hill into a ditch. Aaron said that he was parked next to Grant and he was inside his own car checking work emails when he realized what happened. So Aaron called 911 at 8:44 a.m. from the parking lot, and Grant was taken to the hospital by an ambulance where sadly he was pronounced dead even before 9:30 a.m. Aaron told the dispatcher, quote, "My son's truck backed over him, it rolled over him and dragged him into the ditch and is on top of him. He's not alert, he's out and he's trapped. I got 3 guys here and he's trapped under the truck." End of quote. During this call, you can hear the incoming sirens towards the end, with Aaron repeatedly shouting to the 3 guys he claims were in the ditch with Grant. Strangely enough, however, it seems that no one apart from Aaron sees or speaks with these 3 people. No police officer, no paramedic, no one. Aaron also said that they were driving a white box truck, but again, nobody sees this truck.
I'm trying.
Where's your emergency?
It's 1357 South Water Street. It's off 109. Please hurry.
You said 57?
Please hurry.
Okay, what's going on?
1357. My son's truck backed over him, and it's rolled over him and dragged him into the ditch, and it's on top of him. He's trapped under the truck, and somehow it drug him underneath it. Yes, my son is under it. I'm trying to call 911.
Okay, what's your name?
Oh my God. My name is Aaron Solomon.
And you said
Oh
you're
my God.
at 1357 South Water Avenue, right?
Yes.
How old
Yes.
is the male?
He's 18. He just turned 18 a couple weeks, about a month ago. It's my son. Oh my God. Oh my God, this is not good.
Is he awake and
Oh, please
talking
hurry.
to you?
I don't think so. He's not alert, right? No, he's out. And he's trapped. I got 3 guys here, and he's trapped under the truck.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I understand, sir. Stay on the phone with me while we get somebody out there. What's your name?
Aaron Solomon.
All right, Aaron.
Huh?
What kind of vehicle is it?
It's a Toyota Tacoma, and it's the vehicle he's underneath the vehicle.
Okay, I've got that.
And it's
Okay, I've got that. What color is it?
It's a white truck. That's my son. It's somehow it backed up. Yeah. Yeah, I'm on with 911 right now. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Was your son working on it?
No, he was just getting out of it. It's the hill. We're on an incline, and I guess he didn't have it in park or something, or it wasn't engaged, or. Oh my God. Oh my God, I can't believe
still
this.
not responding?
No.
And he's still under
No.
the truck. No one can get
Yes.
out from under it. We've got units en route to you. I'm just asking you questions for we can update them, okay? Can you check and see if he's breathing?
Somebody's telling me that he's coming to.
Okay,
Maybe.
He is waking up,
Maybe.
kind of keeping still. So he is
Well, he
breathing?
can't. Yeah, he can't move. I don't think he can move. I don't know.
Okay, I understand.
No, he can't move. He's trapped.
Okay, we got somebody en route. Now, when he wakes up, he might be scared. Can somebody just get down there and talk to him?
Yeah, somebody talk to him. Shit. There's blood. Is he facing up or down? He's facing up. They said he may aspirate. We need to hurry. Oh, my God.
So does he have blood coming out of his mouth?
Yeah, there's blood coming out. Yeah, somehow it drug him down, I think. I don't know whether it wasn't in park or what, or if it didn't engage the brake, or it drug him underneath somehow.
Okay.
They said he's facing up.
Okay.
But he's bleeding from his mouth. So, Grant, turn your face to the side if you can, barely, but be careful.
Don't move him, okay?
We can't move him. We can't move him. Oh my God.
All right, Beeson, they're there. I'm going to let you go, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.
According to the medical examiner, Grant's cause of death was cardiac arrest. He had blunt force trauma to the back of his head and traumatic brain injury. According to the police report, Grant was lying on his back beneath the front of his truck between the tires, so the weight of the wheels was not on his body, as Aaron repeatedly said. He also said that Grant was bleeding from his nose and ears in addition to his scalp. To Grant's sister Gracie and their mother Angie, Aaron's account of the incident just didn't make any sense. And if you think about it, and you see all of the photos from the incident, Aaron's story just doesn't make any sense. How could Grant suffer all of these injuries and be found between the tires? Even if the car would run him over, most likely, he would have survived. The car wasn't speeding and the distance wasn't long. Also, the hill was not so steep. And something else which was quite strange was that Grant would always talk with his girlfriend from his truck whenever he would arrive somewhere, either by phone, text or Snapchat, before he even got out of the vehicle. But what strangely is that on the morning that he died, he just didn't do it. And this was really out of character for Grant. His phone wasn't even recovered that day. Also, he never kept his baseball gear in the bed of his truck, but the baseball gear was always in the back seat on the driver's side. So why would Grant be behind his truck, and how could the truck pull him, drag him, and all of this without Aaron hearing absolutely nothing? When Aaron called 911, the dispatcher told him to get down to the ditch to be with his son, as his son might be scared. But Aaron didn't do it. Instead, what he did was he stood at the top of the hill shouting at those three men who nobody but him saw. He didn't get down in that ditch once to see his son dying. As Grant's mother and sister rushed to the hospital, Aaron was keeping himself busy by declining services for his son, including life flight transport. Minutes after Angie and Gracie got to the hospital, Aaron was already looking for a singer for Grant's funeral. Witnesses at the hospital even said that they heard Aaron repeatedly tell Angie that Grant's organs could still be donated until 9 p.m. that night without the use of a ventilator. Gracie and Grant at that point were living with Angie, yet Aaron was the one seemingly making all of the decisions. Angie, who was a doctor of pharmacy, she couldn't really understand why Grant's injuries seemed so inconsistent with Aaron's story, and she was shocked when she saw her son's body with so little injury. Hospital staff recorded a single laceration with bleeding on Grant's skull and 3 bruises, one on his jaw, one near his left hip, and one on his right thigh. Grant drove the truck for around 1 hour to get to baseball practice, and Aaron said that the truck dragged Grant across the asphalt into the ditch, which was filled with rocks. But there were no other injuries. He had no burns from the hot vehicle or abrasions from getting dragged along an asphalt lot. No punctures, fractures, bleeding or any other wounds apart from those 3 bruises and the 1 laceration to his head. On 22nd of July, 2 days after Grant passed away, Angie received a visit from a few members of Grace Chapel. And she actually described them as quite intrusive, describing injuries on Grant that simply just didn't exist, even suggesting that Grant maybe had some kind of, an internal bleeding or something. They were really trying to convince her that Grant's death was an accident. Even though Grant's mother requested an investigation, Gallatin police took Aaron's statement and very quickly closed the case. The investigation was brief and superficial. Police interviewed only Aaron Solomon and the owner of the property on which the death happened. Police made no efforts to forensically examine the Toyota Tacoma that allegedly malfunctioned, even though pictures that were taken by Gallatin PD at the scene clearly show that the car was in park mode once it rolled over Grant's body. So that would typically mean that someone must have put that car in park mode, right? And even with a well-known history of domestic and family violence, police didn't even reach out to Angie, Grant's mother, his sister Gracie, or anyone else that Grant was close to. At the time of Grant's death, and even before Angie arrived at the hospital, Aaron filled out paperwork to decline an autopsy or a post-mortem examination. After receiving about 30 minutes of CPR and despite EMTs doing everything that they could, Grant was sadly pronounced dead at 9:28 a.m. that day. At this point, the medical examiner was contacted. Tennessee law prescribes that the medical examiner needs to be contacted when a death happens because of violence or trauma. However, medical death investigator John Poss and Sumner County medical examiner John Ray Pinkston decided that there was no autopsy necessary. According to the Office of the State Chief Medical Examiner guidelines, they would have likely relied on information obtained from family members or friends of the deceased, law enforcement and the death scene to make that determination. Conveniently, the only family member at the scene present was Aaron Solomon, and just like Gallatin PD, the death investigator and the medical examiner probably believed Aaron's explanation. While there is no clear legal statute on when an autopsy needs to be performed, the County Medical Examiner Handbook suggests an autopsy needs to be requested when the manner of death is determined to be inconclusive and in all cases of homicide. If the investigators would have talked to Grant's friends or family, there would have been enough doubt to the manner of his death. They would have learned about the allegations of sexual abuse, manipulation and violence. They would find out about the horrible ways in which Aaron treated Grant. According to a report by Gracie's guardian, Grant said that his father would monitor his bathroom times, limit his calorie intake because Grant was just too fat in his father's eyes. Grant, according to his mother, felt that it was his duty to protect his young sister Gracie from their father's sexual abuse. He hoped to testify in court and potentially gain custody of Gracie once he turns 18. But no one asked about any of these things. Instead, they just rushed to, file a report, leaving out extremely important details such as precisely which injuries Grant had suffered. The standard form has two black line drawings of a human body printed on it, one of the front and one of the back, but on Grant's report, both were left blank. 8 days after Grant died, when Aaron described the incident on video to Angie, he said that Grant was getting his gear from the back seat and not the bed of the truck. Angie and her friend were shocked that everything in the truck appeared to be undisturbed, just like Grant would leave it. The only thing missing though, you know what it was? Can you guess? Grant's baseball bat. Exactly. He was going to baseball practice, he was taking his baseball gear out, so where was the baseball bat? Because how can you practice playing baseball without your baseball bat, right? At Grant's memorial, Aaron gave a really strange speech. He described how the family used to call Grant Mr. Peppers because he was so wide-eyed and curious. 8 minutes into the speech, Aaron called Grant's death a godly thing. In the funeral home, Grant's girlfriend told Angie that Grant's phone was moving in Gallatin through her Life 360 app. Angie wanted to call the police, but Aaron said that no, he would take care of it. He then came back with a story about how the man who found Grant's phone by the ditch was brought to Christ in those few minutes. I hate when people use religion for these evil purposes. And he said that this was all because Grant died. But it was really strange how it wasn't the police who actually found Grant's phone, but a man, after Grant's phone was moving on his girlfriend's 360 app. For Gracie, Angie, and so many other witnesses to Aaron's behavior, Aaron's strange attitude seemed cold-blooded. In August 2020, Angie decided to hire a private investigator. On 20th of September, supported by Melanie Hicks, the Guardian, Gracie files a restraining order from Aaron, bringing Wynne Hicks and Anna Smith to testify in her favor. Magistrate Cabell holds the hearing, but the witnesses are dismissed yet again. However, the order, I believe, this time is granted. On 21st of September, Aaron sends Angie an email saying that he will enforce parenting time with Gracie whether she wanted it or not. Up to that point, he respected her wishes. In November 2020, with the protection order in place, Aaron still goes to Gracie's school. In December, Gracie is so terrified of Aaron that he will take her away that she stops going to school completely. She is struggling with panic attacks and hives breakouts because of the psychological stress that her father is causing her. Now, remember that Grant died on 20th of July, right? Since then, Angie was desperately trying to get hold of Grant's truck. Yes, because Aaron got his truck right after the incident. Apparently, the police used a private tow truck company to take the vehicle away, and Aaron went to that company and paid to take it. That's what, I was reading from different sources. It was only on 19th of March 2021, the following year, that Angie finally found out where her son's car was. She found it at a scrapyard, so in April she managed to get enough money to buy the vehicle back, knowing it was an essential piece of evidence. After buying it, she gave the vehicle to one of her friends for safekeeping to make sure that Aaron doesn't know he was with her. I know that it may seem like, I jumped all over the place with the timeline here and with the events, but I just want to make sure that I kind of paint the whole picture around their family life and home life before the accident happened, and kind of trying to, figure out what led to, what was going on before Grant's accident, right? So I'm hoping that it was clear for you. For now, I have got to the end of part 1, and I will see you in part 2, which will be published in 1 or 2 days or 3 days. So, be patient with me and wait for the second part. Thank you guys so much for watching for now. Please do let me know what do you think so far in the comment section down below. For now, stay safe, take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!